Thank you for joining us for Jay's Traveling Glass. And this is a series in which we're going to ask the winemakers to tell us about their wines in their own words. And the first one is from Weinstock, Baron Herzog, and Herzog Reserves. We have Joe Hurliman, who will tell us about how he makes his wines and why they're America's most favorite wines in his own words.
Right now, I'd like to talk about the Baron Herzog line that we have, and that's the value line that I was talking about earlier. This winery was designed, as I mentioned earlier, both with the value-priced wine, the larger production cases, and also the reserve wine in mind. And what's really exciting about the winery in Oxnard right now is that I really can focus on the Baron Herzog line, and we've been really kind of working diligently to bring new products to the line. Recently, we released a Pinot Grigio. The 2009 was the first vintage of Pinot Grigio, and actually right now, today, I believe that we brought out the 2010 that I bottled a couple of weeks ago. Pinot Grigio is predominantly from the Clarksburg area, which is the Sacramento Delta. Really light, clean, fruity, easy drinking wine, a wine that is going to be less than $10, hence the reason why it's the value-priced wine. Baron Herzog is a product that's named for one of the Herzogs. Back in the day, the Herzog family produced wine for Franz Joseph in the Australian-Hungarian court. And Franz Joseph really loved the wine that was coming out of the Herzog winery back in Czechoslovakia so much that he ended up giving a title of Baron to one of the Herzog family members, hence the reason why it's called Baron Herzog. Right now, we produce a white Zinfandel, Pinot Grigio, a Sauvignon Blanc from the Santa Barbara appellation. We also do a Chardonnay. Chardonnay is a great story when you talk about value-priced wines. This is a wine that it could have been the 2006 or the 2007 vintage, was rated by USA Today as one of the best buys. Wine Enthusiast has rated a different vintage as best buy. What's really unique about the wine is that it's a wine that has a percentage of barrel fermented Chardonnay in it. And I do that specifically for the reason, because I want an elegant wine. That small percentage that I do is coming out of Russian River, but the wine is actually a Central Coast wine. And most of the fruit is actually coming from the Santa Barbara County. This is a vineyard called Louis Lucas's vineyard, Lucas and Llewellyn, in the Los Alamos sub-appellation of Santa Barbara. Really nice tropical fruit components to it. It's a wine that is finished with very, very nice oak influence, but very sweet, notes of vanilla, and just absolutely great. Also in that line we have Merlot from Baron Herzog. That is from the Central Coast also. Monterey, Paso Robles, and also San Luis Obispo County. And then we have the Cabernet Sauvignon from Baron Herzog. This is a wine that comes from about 3 or 4 different vineyards, and that gives us a very nice capability to blend and mix something that's very consistent from year to year, because what we're trying to do is we don't want the same vintage to vintage variation that you would get in a reserve wine or a single vineyard wine. You want to have more of a style of Cabernet Sauvignon coming from Baron Herzog. So because of the fact that I have 3 or 4 different vineyards that I'm working with, I can use a small percentage of each one and mix it to give it a more similarity from year to year. And then finally, we have a Zinfandel that comes from the Lodi vineyard, Lodi area. This comes from a family called the Watts family. Watts family we've been working with since 1985, the first year that the family, the Herzog family, started to make wine in California. Very long relationship with them. It's a great vineyard. Very, very excited to work with the family. You know, it's really important to find people that really understand the focus that you have. You know, the Herzog family have been making wine for 8 generations. Most of that time was in Czechoslovakia, but now they've been making wine in California since 1985, but actually in the United States since 1948. And you want to get those relationships with another family that's been doing wine for a number of different generations, because you know that's the wonderful aspect of bringing the grapes to the winery, then bringing a product to people that can, you know, that you can actually enjoy.